skimming, we can say in skimming, we read through the text, like reading through the text fast to have a general idea. By in scanning, reading fast to locate, you read fast, but this time you are locating specific or key informations.
Information. Okay. Now, listen to this question. A student is going to write an examination. And he's reading his notes. And prescribed books that the lecturer gave them. What reading method would he be predominantly using? Listen to the question again. A student is going to write an examination. Which reading method or reading technique will he be predominantly applying? Should it be scanning, skimming, extensive reading, or intensive reading?
Sir.
Yes, extensive reading.
Intensive reading.
Intensive reading.
Why?
Intensive reading.
I say why?
Because the student wants to read and understand and get the meaning of what he's going to write.
Okay, yes. Any other answer? And if you give the answer, you must explain it. You must explain. You must give reason why you select that answer.
And also, it doesn't know where the questions are coming from. So you have to read broadly and understand everything.
Start again. I didn't hear the beginning.
The student doesn't know where the question is coming from.
I say, what is your answer?
You must read everything well. Intensive reading.
Pardon?
Intensive reading. It's intensive reading. So the student must read broadly.
Are you sure?
Because he doesn't know where the questions are coming from. Yeah, so you have to read everything and understand it.
Okay, any different answer? No answer again. You have about 91 students in the classroom. And I have maybe just 2 or 3 answers. So what about the rest? What are they doing?
Yeah, please also go for intensive reading. Because it's an examination. So this will help the student to read with a kind of focus. Like what my other colleague said, you don't know where the examiner will set the exam for, so you have to be focused and read to really understand the test.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, so today let's continue with the reading methods we have, or the reading techniques that we discussed last week. Talk about skimming, scanning, intensive reading, extensive reading, reading for comprehension. The last one was SQ3R. So that is a continuation of what we did last week. Now, so if you can see my screen, one of you to wait for me.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Let me read. Should I start?
Oh, you read.
Apart from skimming, scanning, intensive and extensive reading, another method of reading is what is termed SQ3R. Have you read about it? There are SQ3R and SQ5R. There are SQ4R and SQ5R, but since they are not our course outline, we will not bother about them. SQ3R is an abbreviation. It is a reading method designed to help process and increase retention of written information. Then S stands for survey, study, examine, etc. Q stands for question, R, write. Another R, recite
sure?
or record.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
S stands for survey, which means to study or examine. Q for question. R, one R stands for read. Another R stands for recite or recall. And the last R stands for review.
Okay. So we are starting. And anybody who is ready will have to pay attention. So survey is just like skimming. It is just like skimming or scanning that we talk about already. Basically, it's like skimming. What do you do under survey? Our survey is not going with a tape measure to go and measure land as surveyors do. That is not the case anyway. But we are talking about to survey a book or to do a survey. So if you happen to be in the library, you want to survey, you want to find out about the books that you are going to read. You must know the book you are going to read. You don't just start reading. So find out whether the book will be useful. The book will be useful to you before you start reading. So what do you specifically do? You mentioned some already. Under survey, you look at the title. You read you find out the author. Look at the date of publication. You read the preface and introduction, table of contents. Read chapter headings and subheadings. And you can also look at the index. It depends on what you index. The other day I explained to you that index is if you take a textbook and you go to the end of the textbooks, basically you see some terms from the book which are written with page numbers added attached to those words. What it means is that if you can just look at the index, you can get the page on which you can get those terms directly. Then read the chapter headings and table of contents and subheadings. Look at the pictures, look at questions, look at things that are in bold print. You can read the introduction and conclusion. Read the first and last sentences of paragraphs. Also, you have to read footnotes. If you are, doesn't mean that you should take the book and begin to look at all these at once. No. I think that if you take a book, look at the title, read the introduction, look at the table of contents. If the things that you are doing in class appear in the table of contents, you will know. You don't need to actually go to the extent of reading, concluding, because there are many chapters there. So I think that what can help you it helps you like a mirror to look into the book itself is just trying to look at the table of contents. Table, chapter 1, what is there? Chapter 2, what is there? Now, if it doesn't seem to match what your lecturer was telling you to study, then I think for that moment you got to drop it, because you have just few weeks ahead of you, and you must select wisely whatever you are going to read. Now, then let me narrow it down to this. Let's say that you see a text, maybe a newspaper article in a column, then the article is something like, you have to reopen in December. You have to reopen in December. When you see the thing like this, what you need to do is to generate questions. Generate questions in your mind about the topic. Now, when you see such an article, you have to reopen in December. What are some of the possible questions that will come up in your mind? The SQ3R is saying that after you survey the thing, you may generate questions. And I'm giving you an example. It is not always a book. It could be a text. It could just be one page. So when you take, let's say, you see a page or a newspaper page or that's an article or something, and it says you have to reopen in December. What are some of the possible questions that can come up in your mind? Are you there, or am I alone here?
Sir, please, we are here.
Sir, please, we are here.
Sir, please.
Or better still, assuming that you saw this thing I'm talking about at the time you were not enrolled at UHAS. You're not enrolled at UHAS, and you saw something like that. What are the possible questions that come up in your mind?
Sir, please, for me, I'll ask myself why is the school opening in December when they are supposed to be vacating in December? And then is it not a year-round program they are running? So how come they are resuming in December?
Okay, yes. That is a good question. Yes. You can have 1,000 questions. It is not Frank Ahiale. Frank Ahiale. Yeah.
Please, I'll ask myself, so this semester, what will be the amount of school fees that we are going to pay?
No. When you see the article you talk about fees per se. I don't know whether you can deduce fees. Okay, well, but it's a question. Is it they are going to reopen? How much are they going to pay? But that seems to be far from the topic. Yes.
Oh.
What questions can come up?
Sir, please.
Yes.
For me, I can also ask which dates exactly would they reopen in December?
Yeah, that's a good question. You say you have to reopen in December. Which day? Because you have 1st December, 2nd December, 3rd December, and the 31st. So which day? Yes.
Sir,
Yeah.
I'll also look at the courses they offer.
Yeah, maybe you want to ask which program do they do at the university? Yes. Yes, I'm expecting questions. Or I should start mentioning names.
Sir,
Yes.
please, I will also ask, and if they open in December, won't they break for Christmas?
Okay. Yes. Yes. Victoria.
Please, I will also ask December, we have 2025 December, 2026 December. So exactly which year are they resuming?
Yeah, it's a good question. Say December. So which December? In 2026, 2027. Yes, there are many questions. Many questions.
Sir,
Yes.
I also asked whether it's sandwich or regular student.
Yes. Because there are different categories of students. We have access student, we even have a sandwich student, we have MPhil students, we have continuing students, and then we can also have freshmen or first year students. So which category of students are going in December? Yes. I'm expecting questions.
Say,
So go
hello.
ahead. Hello. Yeah.
Say, me too, I'll ask for the duration for the, asking for the course per the period.
Okay. So there are many questions you can ask. If, for example, you spot a headline like that, and it happens that the topic is not something that you even know, you begin to ask many questions. What is UHAS? UHAS, what is it? Is it a company? Is it a Ghanaian company? Is it a university? And is it a university? Which program do they do? Why are they reopening in December? What happened that they reopening in December? So you begin to ask questions. That's how you're supposed to approach any kind of so there are two categories of questions. See, turn all headings and subheadings to pictures to questions. In addition to this question that I raised now, the questions that we raised, that is the questions that you ask yourself before you even start reading the document. But then, if we move from S to Q, the next stage is R, according to the SQ3R format. So we finish with the S, we are at Q. What will we be doing at R? Based on our trajectory, the path on which we are now, we move from S, we are now at K. We are finished with K. We want to read. You can even consider the newspaper case. You saw the title or the heading, then you decide to borrow the paper to read. What will you be doing at R? Oh, are they there? Are you alive there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So you
sir.
hear me?
I think the R, you want to dive into the main message.
Okay. Somebody says we need to dive into the message. Yes. What do you think we should be doing at R?
Sir,
Please, you
please, you
start
read.
reading.
Yes. You read? Somebody said we
This
should.
stage
Yeah.
will help you to find out if the UHAS is either a school or a company. So you read more about UHAS.
Okay, there's something I think you want to say, but you're not able to capture it. It's all right. Yes. At R, what are we supposed to be doing? She's on the way, but she has not arrived.
Sir, you read into details the reason why they are reopening in December.
Okay, you are trying. Yes.
Sir, please, you also
And,
look
and
at
what
the
are
page where it is.
Okay, very good. Yes. I
Sir,
think that you are going around the question answer, but
sir,
only you catch it anyway. Yes,
sir, please, you do intensive reading.
I agree. But in relation to the steps you are using, Having moved from S to Q, if you're at R, what will you be doing? I know you read all right. See, yes. The last answer.
You read into details to know more about what you has is and what it's about, whether it's a school or a company.
Okay, you read and then you try to find answers to the questions that you raise at Q. You read, past reading, you're trying to find out whether the questions that we are asking before you collected the book, before you borrowed the paper, you want to find answers to them. That is it, basically. Okay. Now, but having started reading, there are two sets of questions I'm talking about. This is very important to me. Having started reading, there are questions you need to ask. Still need to ask. Why am I reading this? Is this something that interests me? Are there any questions for me to answer? Is the material worth reading at all? As you start reading, you can still ask questions. Is the material worth reading? What is the content about? What question is the passage trying to answer? When they say the passage is trying to answer a question, it is not like a question with a question mark. That's what they are talking about. What is the purpose for the writer? Is it educating us? Is it entertaining us? Is it informing us? Is the writer trying to correct some wrong impressions or some findings that were some findings that are not correct? So what is the question the writer is answering? It's not just a question. What is he doing there? Now, we can even continue with this. How does the information in this book help me? Does it help me at all? I'm doing public health nursing. We have topics to cover for a particular period. But this one that I'm doing now, there is no similarity between what our lecturer is talking about and what I can see in this book. If I still want to continue reading it, well, it's left to you. Because apart from intensive reading, you can also do extensive reading. So if you think that you have enough time just to broaden your mind and you want to continue reading something that doesn't relate directly to what you do in class, no, it's not a big deal. Now, then also the questions can continue. To find out answers to questions at Q, very good. Then at the read stage, you can ask yourself questions. By this time, you have started reading the text. Ask these questions. What arguments is the writer putting across? This writer, what argument is it? What is he saying? He's talking about the importance of public health nursing, the relevance of something, this and this and that. What evidence does the author produce to support his argument? What you're reading could be a research report that is like a paper, academic paper in a journal or something. So the claim the writer is making, what evidence has he put forward to substantiate whatever he's saying? What did he collect his data? Was the data collected in Europe or was it collected in Africa? Whatever he's talking about now, is it applicable to us in Africa? You begin to ask yourself questions. So academia is not a place for you just come and then they give you notes and then in 3 months' time, they ask you to produce a note, then you say you are passed and happy. No, begin to question things. Begin to question things. Some of these questions that you put across sometimes can help to shape things in the future about research, about the methodology of data collection and things that they consider in research and all that. Are there any contrasting arguments I know of that exist? Our lecturer talk about this in class. But what I'm reading in this book seems to contradict, like it's a contrast. Why? So maybe when you go to class, you can go ask questions. Or even the same paper or book, somebody collected data in America or Europe, and then this is a finding. But if you come to Africa, these things don't seem to match well. So you begin to question things. Then is there any flaw in the author's argument? What is a flaw? A weakness. Weakness. This person says he's collected data and he has put forward a finding. You can question the data, the base or the database, whether the sample size is too small or too large or this, and from which category of people did the person collect the data, how long did the research last, and all that kind of thing. You can. So if you are going to do, if you have done this before, thesis or dissertation, that is, if you did diploma, I don't know, and then you understand what I'm talking about. But maybe next year when you are doing your research or your the thesis, you can see that you need some of these things to help you, even though you will be taught research methodology. All right, anyway, this is how we interact with the text. You don't just read it. Okay, very good. Having done this, you move to the next step or the next stage, which is recite or recall. What are you supposed to do there? Put what you have read into your own words. Ask yourself questions to help you remember. Identify major points in the text. Notes, outline. Make notes, outline, repeat questions, and answer questions. You can, when you read a text or read a note, your note, you can ask yourself questions. You can even try to put questions down as if you are in an exam hall. You close your book, and then you give answers to your own questions. Later open the book or later open the text notebook and find out whether you answer the question correctly. You can do all that. And more so if you're in the library, because the book is not yours, maybe you are just going to just use it for some hours. It is good that you put whatever you read into your own note before you leave. There's no pressure here in the library. If you go to a place like University of Ghana, the students are many that if you see a book today, here, tomorrow if you come, you not see the book again. And you know what they do? Or no, what we used to do. You need to add it before. Let's say the library is big. The library could be as big as maybe one acre. The library is big. So somebody can take the book from this place and go and hide it somewhere. You see, let's say this is a place for nursing, and then they'll take you to hide it among history books. Because if you take the book out of the library, they'll catch you, they'll get you. So you don't want to be caught. And you want the book to read the following day because you need the information. And out of about 200 or 300 or 400 students who are doing the course, maybe those books are only 2. So when you take it from here, you go and hide it at a place where it is only me who will know it. So the following day, I'll go there, pick it. We used to do that. But you have maybe there's no pressure like that. In that case, when you study and you want to move, you want to just you spend about 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, and you want to finish your reading, you want to close up, you want to close the session, try to capture whatever you study during that short time in your own words as much as possible. today I studied this. This is the point. Number one, number two, number three. Then, so that you see that the time you spend there is useful for you. Not to read and then just close the book and go away. No. So you put it in your own. The next stage is summarize more, recite more, and importantly, use mnemonics to help you remember the essential point. What is mnemonics? Mnemonics is like an abbreviation or a kind of abbreviation where I remember when in secondary school we're doing economics, and then maybe they can say factors to consider in citing an industry, or maybe in physics, you say you want to form a formula, the formula for finding this and this and that. We ourselves can compute an abbreviation kind of. So if, for example, you're going to do studies in the library, or maybe even your note, you finish, and you think that factors to consider in public health nursing in doing something. If you think you might forget those 5 or 6 points, you can use the first letter of each of the points. That means the first letter of each of the points, you put them together in like an acronym or abbreviation, so that I know that in the exam room, if I write this thing down, this letter means this for me. The second letter means this. The third letter means this for me. Those are the things we talk as mnemonics. So you can do all that in your lecture, in your note taking or note making. Any questions? Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
Hi, sir.
Any questions? If you don't have any
Please, no.
questions, now let's go to the next stage. The next one is developing reading skills. Developing reading skills. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Okay, then let's read.
Academic and communicative skills 1, UHAS 107, lesson 2, developing study skills. Akoli Innocent Selassie, University of Health and Allied Sciences. Developing study skills. Explanation of the word study and skill. Differences between hearing and listening. Kinds of listening. What situations demand listening?
So last week we talked about developing reading skills. Now let's talk about developing study skills. What is the meaning of the word study? Study, to study.
Sir, please, I would say to carefully read and then understand something.
To study the thing. This person is studying something. Study, let's study. Okay, somebody says.
Sir.
Yes.
Please, I also say to take a critical look at something.
Critical look. Okay. Yes. Study.
Finally.
Hello.
Hi,
Study.
sir.
Devotion of your time and
Yes.
attention to new knowledge
Yes.
on some.
To read,
Now,
understand, and gain knowledge about something.
okay. What's the difference between study and then learn?
Sir, please. Studies is the practice of learning. Learning is actually the knowledge acquired. The knowledge you are acquiring, but studies is the process of learning.
Okay, so right now, learning and studying, what is a bigger one? Which is contained in the other?
Sir,
Learning
studying
is
is the
bigger
bigger
than
one.
studying.
Learning. So
Okay.
please, study
Learning is
is
bigger.
derived from learning. So learning is bigger than study.
Okay. Very good. Now, in our case, studying studying means to acquire knowledge by the use of books. So you can see that we have to tailor everything to suit our situation. We basically will have to get information by through books or by means of books or by reading books. Apart from reading, what other means? What other means are available for you to get information in a university?
Sir, research.
Research. You are still reading.
So listening.
Yes, you listen. You read. You listen at lectures or you listen at seminars. You're also learning. You are receiving information. So reading, listening. Yes.
Observation.
Sometimes we
Sir,
look at what
practice.
other people are doing.
Practice.
So please,
Practice.
observation.
Yes, you can observe something. If you miss that one, you suffer in life. Observation is very important.
Yeah.
So reading, listening, observation, especially if you are a science person. Maybe the nurses are also science people. You have to observe something. Observation is very important. If you are a medical student, you are a student, you're an apprentice, you are with your master or mistress, you are doing some observation. You're in a hospital, you also need observation to come up with some conclusion about some clients and other things. Observation. So reading, listening, and observation. Okay, very good. But now let's talk about listening and hearing.
Sir, please, can we also add experience? Is it correct?
So you by which mean experience, but shall we put it an observation?
Say, it can be under observation, say.
Okay. Frank Ahiale.
Yes, sir. Please, what about practicing?
Okay, practice. Before you practice something, you must have read something. Oh?
Yes.
So that's how we have theory and practicals. We finish reading the thing. Now let's go to the field and practice the thing. So I think that one too is based on reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's based on something that you read that you want to practice.
Okay.
Somehow, I'm sorry if I couldn't answer it, but if you go to your class, you ask your science teachers. Very good. Now,
Okay.
so now let's talk about hearing and listening. Is there a difference? And if there is, what is it?
Sir, please, we didn't explain skill. The explanation.
Oh, I think we explained skill last week, or?
Oh.
Hello?
Yes, sir. We did.
Yes,
sir.
we did.
We explained the word developing and skill. So I see the same thing today,
Oh,
but
okay.
except that the word study is the new thing we are coming across today. So we said developing something is to improve the thing or to enhance the thing. And a skill is ability to do something because you do it very often and so you are fluent in doing the thing. So developing study skills is how to improve on our studying basically. How to improve on the studying, or how to improve on how to study. How to study not only academic writing, but all other courses that are going to do. The skills, the principles that we learn from here, we apply to every field, whether it's physics or chemistry or public health nursing, the same thing that we are going to apply. So we are learning something that you carry along for the rest of your life. Now, listening and hearing, is there a difference? And if there is, what is it?
Sir, please, I would say that listening, hearing is like you are just, your ear is there, but the listening, you pay closer attention to whatever the person is saying.
Your ear is there. What does it mean?
You can hear, when the hearing, like, I don't know how to, I want to use another word for the hear.
Very good.
Attention.
Okay. Now let's see. I know what you want to say. I understand perfectly. I know what you want to say. In other words, if you see when you say we hear, you can receive sound waves. You can receive sound waves into your ear. I can say you say bell or something, but I do not pay attention. So I do not want to get meaning of what you are saying. Or let's say I was passing by and I heard voices. So I knew there were human beings there. I heard voices, but I didn't know what you were saying because I didn't even get close to them. So I heard. So to receive sound waves into your ear, if there is somebody who cannot receive sound waves into the ear, maybe because of some defect, then we say the person is deaf. The person who is deaf, in other words, if you go close to the person and even clap your hands, I don't know whether the person can pick the sounds. But listening is to pay attention to sound with the purpose to get meaning. I think some of you mentioned already attention. Like some women among you, I know you are married, and then you say, when I talk to my husband, he doesn't listen. He doesn't listen. Women always complain about that. The husband don't listen. In other words, the person can hear what you are saying, but he doesn't put them in action. He doesn't consider them important. So he just goes through one ear, passes the other one, then it's gone. Now, listening, you have different type of listening or kinds of listening. One like empathic listening. You are a client, you have a client in a hospital or clinic, and you got to listen to the person with empathy, trying to imagine if you were to be in a person's situation. It's a kind of listening. Now, situation which demands that you must listen. Listen to your clients. Listen in the church, you have to listen. At an interview, if there's a seminar, if you are being given an advice, in fact, every part of life you must listen. So we are talking about this in the context of academic work. That if you are in the classroom, you must listen. You pay fees to come and do a program, it is proper that having paid fees, you must also pay attention. You pay fees, we know you paid. In fact, if you don't pay, they may not even allow you to write the examination. So, having paid fees, pay attention. Number two, decide to listen. Decide that I will listen. Do not allow anybody in a classroom to be talking to you when a lecture is ongoing. Avoid that temptation. That person is not the person you are come to listen to. If you think that that person has the ability to teach you, then why don't you go to him and not come to class? Go to that person. Now, when the lecture is over and you want to meet to discuss something, then that is a different thing. That is fine. But when the lecture is ongoing and the person is talking to you, and you allow yourself to be distracted, then if you are in my class, I ask both of you to stand up. And I'll make you stand up for a long time. Avoid receiving calls, WhatsApping. If you sit by the window or door, avoid the temptation of looking at passers-by. People are sitting at the window, everything that is passing, they want to see. If an aeroplane is passing, when we were young, anytime an aeroplane was passing, our teacher would say we should come out and look at it. I don't know whether you experience the same thing.
Yes, so.
But now, I think you are mature. You don't need to come out when an aeroplane is passing. So avoid that temptation of looking at anything that is around you. You are looking at it now. Ask questions and answer questions. Why do we ask questions and answer questions? It is the person who is paying attention that can answer good questions in class. Why? Because he's paying attention, the lecturer said something earlier, and in the next moment he's saying something which contradicts or seemingly contradicts what he heard earlier. Now, see, you want to seek clarification on the thing. Or a question is asked. It is only the person who is paying attention that can answer the question. Because he's following everything sequentially. How we listen in class, then the next thing is note taking. You are in class, you are listening. You need to take notes. It is only about 1% or maybe less of human beings in the world who go to class and not take notes. They can remember everything. I think those people, there may be some people like that truly, but there may be very few. There may be few. So if you know that you are not that kind of person who has that kind of photographic memory, you can go to class, you're looking at a lecture for 2 hours, whatever he says, you can remember it forever. Then in that case, you don't need to take notes. But if you know you are not that kind of person, please take notes. Do not deceive yourself. What is a note? What is a note? Before we talk about, yes.
Please let me try. They are vital information taken down for future references.
Okay. In what situations is it demanded that you take notes?
When listening.
Okay. In what situation in life demands that you take notes? Great context.
So when you need to recall whatever is being said.
Okay. Now, you can take notes everywhere. Take notes when I'm in church. You take notes when I in a seminar. You take notes. Where I was developed that habit of taking notes. Now, so notes is in our context. It's just a recording of important points from a lecture. We want to put it in our context. Recording of important points from a lecture. It is not everything that is said at the lecture that you need to write down. What is important? Note taking, selecting. Then from there we go to note making. We have note taking and note making. This is an area for a possible area for examination. Note taking and note making. When you are in a lecture room, writing down points, we say you are taking notes. You are taking it. Somebody can say, someone can tell you, your boss can tell you, go and take note at a meeting. Take note or take the minutes for us. What it means is that when a discussion is ongoing, you are writing down your points. When we finish collecting notes at a lecture, and now we are at home, we have the opportunity to add to whatever we collected from the lecture. Either you go to the library, you go and see additional information which you think is useful, or you go to the internet and you think there are some information you need to add to whatever you collected earlier. When you do this, we say you are making notes. You are making notes.
Sir, please, can I ask a question?
That is.
Please, can we say that the note making is making notes from the key points you've made?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I said from the understanding, like how you explained it.
Well,
can I say that?
What I'm telling you is this, that you are in a lecture hall. The lecturer is talking. So you are jotting down points. That's points. You close from a lecture and you say, this thing that the man has taught. There's a book in the library. I saw this thing yesterday. I need to go read this thing now. So I go to the library and I begin to see similar things there. I go to the internet. So even maybe the things that are in the book, they're even more explanatory than what the teacher said. So I'm beginning to write things down in my own understanding. I'm going to add to the note. I begin to add to the note. I begin to add to the note. I begin to add to the note. But it could be that there are things the teacher said which the book has even explained in detail. When we are doing this, we say you are making notes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you one question. Somebody took note from a lecture. He bought a new notebook. That morning, he took note at the lecture, and it was on the first page. He finishes and decides to go to the library or the internet to make notes. If you put the two notes side by side, what could be the differences, physical differences between the notes?
One will be detailed than the other.
And which one will be detailed than which one?
One from the library.
Yes, what else will you see as a difference or differences? Somebody said one will be more detailed. Yes, what else will you see?
So say,
Yes.
please, in other words, you can say that the one taken will be brief.
Okay. What other difference will you see?
So you will see that the one from the library will have more details than the one taken at the lecture.
Yes, we agree on that. What else will you see? What else will you see?
Sir, please.
Yes.
Sir, please, the one from the library will have more examples than the one from the lecture.
Okay. Yes, what else will you see? It looks like the men in this class are not answering questions, only the women, mostly. But I think that few men like Ahiale and some other people. Yes, apart from that, I have 117 students in the class, and it's only women who are they dominate in answering questions. Yes. Okay, so you see, the one which is taken for a lecture may also be sketchy. In other words, you'll see a lot of shorthands, short abbreviations, and all that. And it's possible that it will not be well written. It's not beautiful. Maybe the one which is organized in the library or by the students at home will be more well written and more well organized. What the next thing is this. The next thing is this. You miss a lecture. When you miss a lecture, you don't just come back from wherever you went and want to collect anybody's note at all. You always want to target somebody. I want to collect the note from Kofi. I want to collect the note from Joanna. Why do we do that? Why do we do that?
Sir, please.
Yes.
First of all, before you target someone to get a note from, is first of all, maybe you have seen that the person is always punctual and regular and very serious, always taking notes. Yes. So with that one, when you go to or you contact that person, you surely get the information you want from that lecture.
Okay. Apart from that, what else? Apart from this, what else will make you look for somebody specifically?
Okay, so
Sometimes
Yes.
the person's handwriting is legit, like you can see what the person has written well.
Okay.
That will also make that person.
Okay. Very good. Now, so see, this brings us to the question of features of a good note. Yes.
Can we say the person also will help you to understand, or the person will explain the things to you?
No, this time we want to focus on only the note. Let's say on the note. The person may do additional explanation, but let's say you are looking at what the person put down in the book. Now, so this brings us to features of a good note. If there are good notes, there are bad notes.
Okay.
The note must be readable. There are people who write, and when they read the thing later, you don't even know what they wrote down.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Special writing.
Our colleague, Asa, can you kindly put off your mic? Because your mic is on its contradicting says phone.
There's somebody called Joyce Lane also. Charlotte.
Sir, please, I was the one who was just talking.
There's Charlotte Nyama. Okay. The note must be readable, must be understandable, must be durable. You see, when they say the word, the lecturer mention a word. If you don't select the correct word, the note may not be readable. Is the lecturer saying whether or whether? Is the lecturer saying whether or whether? Is the lecturer saying seize, SEIZE, or he's saying CEESE? So you need to follow the discussion. Then that will help you to select the correct words, because the lecturer can say something. Now, let me ask you a question. There's an expression in English called break the ice or break ice. What does it mean? Have you heard it before?
What, uh,
What does it mean?
Please.
listen,
Eh?
to break a
There
news.
may be to open something.
Okay, say break ice, break ice or break the ice, is it EYE or is it ICE?
ICE.
Are you sure?
So I see.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that lecturer may use a word because it's not writing on a board. It is always good for us to follow the discussion. Then we know that this particular word is what the lecturer is saying. For example, if you have something like this, you have something like this, or have something like this. Have you seen these two words? Can you see them?
Yes, sir.
Yes, please.
So is the lecturer saying this the first one or the second one? If you do not understand, you can ask a question in class. Then you can clarify it. Otherwise, when you put these things in your notes, if it's supposed to be the first one, you put the second one there. When someone read the note later, the person will not understand. Now, so the note must be durable. Durability in this case means that use writing materials that can keep your writing intact for many years. There's a kind of pen we were using when we were young, or maybe there's a paper. There is paper, or there's some books there. The leaves you look yellowish kind of. I don't know whether it's newsprint or something. If you write in it, with time, it looks as if the paper is absorbing the ink. I don't know whether you've seen this before. The paper, the ink seems to be spreading on the paper. In that case, your note is not durable. But the most important point here is the first one. The most important is the first one. Your note must be faithful to the source. Your note must be faithful to the source, whether it is from a lecturer or from a library that you collected your note. It must be faithful to the source. What does it mean? The facts must be there. There are something raining in who here? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
It's,
sir.
it's raining in who here? I pray
Oh,
that
really?
the network should not be affected.
It's raining.
Okay.
Be faithful to the source.
That's my end too.
Be faithful to the source means that the facts are there. Assuming you collect your notes, and the following day, the lecturer sees your notes, and the lecturer says, oh, I didn't say this. Then it means that your note is not faithful to the source. Or if your colleague will collect the notes from you to read, or to they say, no, Ama, it looks like what you put here is not what the teacher said. Then your note is not faithful to the source. To be faithful to the source means that whatever was said first or you read must be represented in your note. The facts, even though you are saying it in your own words. That point is very important for me. Okay. What is the importance of a note to a student? Yes, what is the importance of a note to a student?
So it helps you to revise.
Yes, what again?
So as a source of reference.
Okay, what again?
Examination purpose.
How will we use it for examination?
Sir, please, better understanding.
Okay. It serves as a summary of what has been studied. It serves as a summary of what has been studied. What does it mean? Because you were writing down only the main points. At the end of the lecture, you can see that your note serves as a summary. It highlights only the essential points from the lecture. Very good. Now, I will talk about this note taken at a lecture. You don't write everything down. You don't always record the exact words of the lecturer, except dates, names, and what? Definitions. Date, you cannot change date into anything. What it is supposed to be so. If the person's name is Ama, don't change it. Then definitions. Then what again? If you are making notes, read. What areas for possible examination questions? Then note making, refer to other books for more information. See friends to fill potholes in your notes. What it means is that maybe the lecture was very fast and you couldn't catch up. So you left some of the you left some things unwritten. In other words, there were some spaces left to be filled. So what you do is, as soon as you finish a lecture, collect a note from somebody and fill in the spaces. Don't wait until it is exam time when everybody is studying, and you go around looking for notes to fill somebody's note. No. You now move to what? Methods of making notes. Methods of making notes. Methods of making notes. We have diagrammatic note and undiagrammatic note. Diagrammatic note and undiagrammatic note, basically two broad types. The diagrammatic note is also subdivided into spidergram and outline. Spidergram and outline. Spidergram and outline. Spidergram and outline. What is your spidergram? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen something that looks like a diagram kind of thing?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir.
So let me say that maybe you you want to make some note, or you want to brainstorm on road accident. You can write road accident in the middle here. Then you make extensions. See, you make extension to the right, to the left, to the top, to the down. And then maybe the one to the top is causes of road accident. The one to the right is what? Effect of road accident. The one to the left is prevention. So you do that. At the end, it looks like the arms or the hands of a spider. That's why we call it spidergram. So in organizing your notes, whether at a lecture or you are making your note, you can adopt this strategy as a way of capturing your note. Spidergram. The next thing, which is an example of the diagrammatic note, is what we call an outline. Look at it. Let's say I have a topic, uses of water. So Roman number 1, capital letter, I see domestic use. You see, I can go to Roman number 2, capital, agricultural use. I can go to a third one, medicinal use. So broadly, I have these things down. But when I come to domestic use, I can have cooking. I can have cooking as an example. And I can have washing as an example. And that cooking, I still have saps, boiling and preparing banku. Sorry, boiling rice and preparing banku. When I come to washing, I can have a sap, 2 saps, washing clothes and washing oneself, or you want to bath, or you want to take a bath, or you want to bathe yourself. If you want to bathe yourself, so you see what you are doing now is an outline. We have a topic, then we have broad headlines or big topics. Then we have sub topics, and we have sub of sub. When you are doing this, you say you are making an outline. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hi,
Okay,
sir.
then the undiagrammatic note. The undiagrammatic note. UN, not AN. Undiagrammatic, in other words, is the opposite of diagrammatic note, if you like. In other words, it is not diagrammatic. When you look at the outline, you look at the spidergram and outline, they look kind of like diagram. They are not so straightforward. But when it comes to the undiagrammatic, you have quotation. You quote somebody from a book. You quote with quotation marks. Then listing method. You can list something 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the factors of this 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can use A, B, C, D. And you can use sentence method. Many people take notes just in points. They write phrases. But you can use sentences. Sentence 1. Public health nursing is this. Full stop. Sentence 2. You are writing sentences. You're writing sentences. Then paraphrase. Paraphrase means that the person writes the thing in his or her own words. But the length is almost equal to the original. So if there is something which is 10 lines, you write it in your own words and you get like 9 lines or maybe sometimes 11 lines, or even get a 10 lines again. The summary, if you summarize something, then necessarily it might be smaller than original. So in the examination that we are going to give you at the end of the first semester, you can have 2 pages, a 2-page document, which could be about 800 words or sometimes more than that. And you have to summarize it in 100 words. That is a summary. That is a summary. So summarizing is also a way of taking notes. The lecturer is talking. When you think that all that the man is saying, oh, I don't need everything. Let me just summarize this. This for me, all that I need is just about 10 lines. All that you have said, I need only 10 lines. So you are summarized. The man is speaking, but what he said, I think that I want to put it in my own way, in my own understanding, different from what
Hello,
he said.
sir.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Please, I have a humble request to make. It's seriously raining here as well. Can you please increase your voice more?
Oh, to increase voice. Is there a way to increase voice now? What am I going to do? Raining where?
Everywhere, whole here too.
But where I am now, the rain has subsided. It has stopped.
It has just started in my area, Powerhouse.
Powerhouse. Very good. So I've increased. I don't know. I've increased. So what I'm saying is, the undiagrammatic notes or the methods of making notes are what quotation, where you want to quote the person word for word. In that case, you're going to use quotation marks and then you list the page of the document where you see the material. Then listing method, you list the thing 1, 2, 3, 4. You list the points. Then sentence method. See, you can write notes in phrases, in short phrases. But there are cases where you want to write a full note, the full sentence. Public health nursing is full stop. Disease control is this full stop. You write full sentences. Now, paraphrasing, I'm saying, it means that you want to write the thing in your own words, but it's going to be almost the same as the original. So if something is about 10 lines and you write it in 9 lines or 11 lines, you have paraphrased. But if you summarize the thing, it means that if the thing is about 100 words, you can write about 200 words as a summary. If the thing is about 1,000 words, you can only write like 300 as a summary. If it is like 800 words, you can write maybe 100 words as a summary. So I was telling you that in the examination that you are going to write at UHAS, if you come to this place, the first semester exam, you will do summary. But the summary we are going to do here is not like the secondary school one. There's a different method by which you do it. And maybe that's going to be easier. It's going to be easier than what you do at a secondary school environment. Now, so because you are going to do summary here, I don't want to talk about it now. When you come to campus, we will have time to go into summary properly. So I was trying to give some examples here, but I will skip them now. What we have on the last slide here is abbreviations. Now, why are abbreviations added to the course outline for us? Not that you should go and start learning cm is equal to centimeter, DM is equal to decimeter. No. Or maybe PWD. Maybe what do you call it? But this one is added here so that when you are taking note at a lecture, and the words that the man is saying or the woman is mentioning, they are long words. You can try to create your own short words just to help you to take note fast. Some of those things you know already, and then you use them already. You have been using them. So you are encouraged to try to create shortened version of words that help you. Yes.
Please, me, I can't hear anything again. No.
The people can hear. What I'll do is I'll put the Zoom, the recorded version of the Zoom. I'll put it to the course to give you. Hello.
Okay.
Hi, sir.
I'm saying.
Mommy, I'm using earpiece because of the rain.
The one who cannot hear, you can go off and come on. You will get it. It could also be network issue.
About the network, it's about the rain.
But no problem. Whichever way, people are experimenting with a lot of things. So you can, when they say something, try to see whether you can do it, whether it can solve the problem for you. If you want to use the earpiece or you want to go off and come again, it's allowed.
Now, myself, I've done it several times, but still, it's the distance is very low, so it's not about losing a name back.
Okay. Personalized abbreviations that you use in note taking. What are some of them that you'll be using? You want to learn from each other. Yes. Abbreviations like before. Maybe I can write B/4. Therefore, I can write D/4. Which ones do you use?
Sir, but BT.
But or but,
yes.
But.
Yeah. Instead of writing BUT, you write BT.
Okay, yes.
Between B/N.
Yes.
Characteristics X/TICS.
Okay, yes.
Sir, welcome, WC.
Okay, yes. Yes.
People.
Say okay.
Okay.
Say, oh my God.
Pardon?
ANS.
Yes.
Oh my God, OMG.
Okay, OMG.
So that then you put a mark at the top.
Okay,
that,
with a bar. Okay, yes.
Say, thank God.
Yes.
Say, please, thank God it's Friday. TIF.
Okay, yes.
Say, as soon as possible. ASAP.
Okay, yes.
Say, I miss you, IMU.
Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. Now, let's recap. What have we learned today?
So please, can you go over the conventional ones for me once again?
The conventional ones means that there are things that are known. Say everybody knows it. Let's say kg, we know is a kilogram, or kindergarten. if it is like EM, it's centimeter. If you say NATO, North Atlantic Treaty or something. So, now international or conventional one means that when you travel from here to the US or India or Nigeria, when you mention this, everybody knows what it is. That we say it's conventional. It is international. It is known. Are there some conventional abbreviations that we know in writing? For example, IE, what does it mean?
So that is in essence.
Very good. So it's conventional. In other words, if you are writing to anybody, even the US or UK, you write it, the person will understand. And maybe your personal one or the individual one or the personalized one that you use, maybe nobody can understand it for you because you took your own notes. So apart from IE, what are some other ones that are conventional?
Say EG. Example.
EG.
Example given.
Very good. It's
ETC.
Yeah.
ETC.
Etc.
Very good. Very good.
NB. Notez bien.
Okay, so you know them. So now let's do a recap of our lesson today. What have we heard today?
So difference between listening and hearing.
So yes, what is it?
You said the hearing, you are just hearing sounds. But with the listening, you pay attention to it and then you understand what the person is saying.
Okay, yes. What have you also learned today?
Please, we spoke about the SQ3Rs, the triple R's. And S stands for survey, that's study and examination. Q is question, R read, the second R recite or recall, the third R review.
Okay.
And understand.
Okay, yes. Someone else. Yes. What have you also heard today?
So please, I've also learned. So please,
Yes.
I've also learned about note making and note taking.
Yeah, tell me something about it. Yes.
Yes, so please. The note making, we said it is when you put down points or you record you write down some points during lectures or anywhere, any occasion or something. And then the note making is after the note you make after you take the notes, like you read further on the notes you took or you take, okay, then you make notes out of it. So it's just like the note making is like making a broad, notes about the notes taking. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. What have you heard today?
Me too, I've learned about features of a good note, which include it must be readable, understandable, it must be durable, and must be faithful to the source.
Okay, very good. Yes.
I've also heard about hearing and listening. Where hearing is just to receive the sound waves in your ears, and then listening is to, whilst you are receiving the sound waves, pay attention to it and to act on it.
Okay, very good. So, do you have any questions?
So I also learned that in paraphrase, we must write the things in our own words for us to understand.
Yes. Very good. Frank Ayanle.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, about the other ways of learning, we mentioned that listening and observation. and then where I mentioned practice too, but you were not so convinced that practice can be a part. But a point came to mind that I want to put across, and let's digest and see how suitable it can be in the situation.
Okay.
So, for example, you see that as a nurse, we always learn on the job.
Okay.
So, for example, maybe a newly posted nurse is on duty with his or her in charge, and
Okay.
a switching, there is an RTA which needs switching.
Okay.
So the newly posted nurse has to be there and then observe the in charge what she's doing.
Okay.
So in that way, if she's observing and then or you are observing on the job and you are not practicing, how will you become perfect in that part? Okay, so
Okay.
I think practice can be part of other ways of learning. That's how I want to put it
I
up.
get it. I get it. What I was actually talking about is how do you receive information?
Okay.
Like, let's say, information is there. We paid to come to school because you want to receive information. It's the information that you don't have. That's why you're coming. Do you know that?
Okay.
Now,
Yes,
all
sir.
all the information that you'll be giving here, if you have them already, probably you shouldn't have been coming. But some people to
Okay.
have it, they have it. People to also have it, but
Yeah.
they want to be certificated.
Okay.
So it could be that somebody comes to you has a we're talking about public health nursing, he knows everything. Because maybe he learned somewhere, he didn't take the paper, or he didn't finish, he didn't get a certificate. So he got to come to a particular place, sit down, and obey instructions. And then they give him the paper to write. Then he passes, then he get a certificate. But what I'm saying is that you said a new nurse has come, and the senior is on duty, and you're doing something, and the new nurse is
Observing.
And
Yeah.
so we say learning. One of the ways by which you receive information is what? Is observation. And I think that practice will help you to be skillful or fluent in doing the thing. But that one too comes from the observation that I don't know. It comes from the observation. I don't know whether we can separate practice as a separate way of receiving information.
Okay.
But I was rather thinking that the practice that you are doing has come out from the observation that that's what I think. But I say, but we can further discuss with your course lecturer maybe. Okay,
All
very
right.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you too. If you don't have any more to talk about,
Sir, please, I have a question.
that is.
Sir, please, per our recent screen, which we just spoke about the abbreviations, we have the conventional ones and the personalized. So
Yes.
does it mean that we have two types of abbreviations, or how?
Oh, no, in our context here, we say, you see, it depends on the context, but we, in academic writing and what you are doing, we can classify them into two. In other words, the one that you can use, which anybody can understand,
Okay.
and the one that you alone can understand.
All right, sir.
And because it is your note, it is only you who can interpret it. So it could be that I may take your note, I will not understand some things. And I have to ask you to explain to me some of the abbreviations. So now you say it's personalized.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yo. Course prefect. Is a course prefect there?
Please, I want to ask a question.
That is.
Please, about the quotation, you said we can quote from the person's words.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, like, for instance, when a person is quoting a words, can we use our words can we use our own understanding to write what the person is quoting?
Okay. Let's say the lecturer is quoting somebody. If the person is quoting someone, if he's quoting, I would prefer that you also quote. You know the reason you want to do, you know the reason we do quoting, because you think that if you want to write it in your understanding, you may dilute the information. You may not capture what exactly the person has said, and you don't want to be guilty of plagiarism. You don't want to be guilty of misreporting, because quoting simply means that I'm not able to put this in my own words to match what the person has said already. And because I don't have the capability to do that, let me just put it down the way I saw it. Yeah, but in writing or academic writing, those things should not be plenteous in your writing. Those things should not be many in your writing. Otherwise, it is as if you are plagiarizing. Once in a while, something like a definition, which you think if you want to say it in your own words, you might destroy the integrity of it. So I say, okay, according to this person, this is what he said. I don't want to put it down like that. Then you can use inverted commas or quotation marks. Put the pitch and a year by the side, then you are free.
Okay, sir.
You. Then permission to close the class. Or you have more questions to ask. When are you coming to campus?
Sir, please, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Monday.
Yes, sir.
Monday.
Tomorrow, Sunday.
So it's Monday. We are reporting tomorrow, but we are coming to campus on Monday.
We had only 2 or 3 lectures on by Zoom.
Yes.
How many lectures do we have? Lectures 2.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The second one.
Don't worry. When you come, we don't have many topics. We don't have many, but I think that when you come, how many weeks are you going to come to stay? You don't know.
Till December.
Say somewhere up to December 23rd or so.
No.
No, that one is both models.
Yes, that's what says.
Modulo 1, I
Very
think
good.
it's 3 weeks.
When you come.
3 weeks or 4 weeks, one of them.
Okay. When you come, if there is a need for us to do additional hours or just to finish the first semester course. But I think that minus this topic that we did, the rest are quite easy. And they are straightforward. So I hope to see you at yours next week, God willing. So I wish you a safe journey back to campus.
All right, so thank you very much.